Awesome. Yeah. So our podcast is about your guys' journey in music and how you got to where you are now, and starting Conquer Divide and the new song you guys just put out. So, are you guys did you grow up around each other, or did you guys meet later in life? How did you guys meet?
Well, I met Kristen in like late 2012.
Okay.
Yeah, I actually met her while auditioning to join the band.
Okay. So where did
Yeah.
you grow up, Kia?
South Carolina.
And what about you, Kristen? Did you grow up in South Carolina as well?
Michigan.
Oh, Michigan. Okay.
Yeah.
So where were you guys at? Where did you meet?
In Michigan.
Oh, in Michigan. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You moved to Michigan, Kia?
Yeah.
Okay. So tell me about growing up. You said South Carolina originally?
Yep.
Tell me
Yeah.
about that a little bit.
So I lived in a really small town called Greenwood.
Okay.
I lived there from the time I was 8 until I moved away when I was 18 or 19, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, pretty standard small southern town in the Bible Belt, can't buy booze on Sundays, those kind of things.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was really small. Went to a super small high school. And I was very excited to move out of there.
And you moved to Michigan?
Yeah, so I moved to New York first. I lived in New
Okay.
York for about a year and a half, and then I moved to Michigan.
Very cool. And how'd you get into music?
Well, I pretty much have been singing my whole life. My whole family is very musical. And so my sister and I would always write like cheesy little songs when we were little. But when I like auditioned for a summer camp that was like art focused, I auditioned for singing and I auditioned for dance, and I didn't get into the singing one. So I had kind of given up on singing as a career, and I was like, I got into the dance one, so I was like mostly into dance in high school. But I still like to sing like in my free time and record covers and stuff. And that's kind of how I met Kristen, was through one of the covers that I recorded.
Oh, wow. Okay. So Kristen, you grew up in Michigan. Tell me about that.
Pretty standard upbringing, I guess. I grew up in church. I was homeschooled, kind of sheltered. Cool. And then got involved in music through my youth group. I started playing at various churches that my family went to over the years, and then eventually I ran into somebody that was trying to form like an all-girl metal band, which is complete polar opposite of what I was playing in church, but
sure.
the idea appealed to me. And so I said, sure, why not? And kind of, well, here we are.
Wow. What was the first instrument you learned to play?
Guitar.
Guitar.
Yeah, my parents bought me a guitar at 13 years old. I kind of started out playing some covers, playing in church, that sort of thing. And then, yeah.
What drew you to the guitar? Was there a reason you went for that, or that your parents just surprised you with
They
the
just
guitar?
bought me one.
Oh, wow, that's cool. They're smart, right?
Yeah.
Paid off.
Just being like, whatever, sure. Like, I don't know. I was 13 years old. I didn't know what I wanted in life. I'm like, all right, here, I got this thing. I guess I'll learn how to play it.
Yeah,
I ended up loving it and enjoying it so much that eventually my parents thought that, oh, maybe she's going a little bit down this road too much. Maybe we should try to steer her away from that and more towards school or other things. But it was too late.
That's funny. And Kia, what was the first instrument you learned to play?
Yeah. So I actually, technically the first instrument was a recorder.
Oh, okay.
I got a recorder in like 5th grade. Everyone in music class had to learn how to play it. But then I got
Hoss cross buns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was really bad at it. But then I got a guitar when I was, I want to say 16. My dad got me a guitar, and I played it a little bit. I haven't played it in a while, actually. I am not as good as Kristen or Izzy, not even close, but I can play some simple chords on the guitar.
Okay. So you said you were doing covers, and were you putting those online? Like,
Oh
and what?
God, no, this was like pre-YouTube, man. I'm old.
Oh, well, I meant like for Kia, were you were
Oh, yeah.
you were
Sorry.
talking about putting songs up, right? Online, or like how that's how you met Kristen?
Yeah. So I would like my friend had a little shed studio set up, and I would choose songs that I liked, and I would either sing them and play my guitar and upload those ones,
Mm-hmm.
or the one that Kristen found of me, I was just singing.
Oh,
Um,
what song did she find of yours?
it was a Sleeping with Sirens song. I think it's If I'm James Dean, You're Aubrey Hepburn.
Yeah, that was the one.
Are you in a band or anything prior to moving to New York?
No, nope. I was just me and my guitar.
Okay. What took you to New
Um,
York? Act or dance?
no, so my sister was living there at the time.
Okay.
And so I just moved to go and live with her. Um, I really just wanted to move, I think. And so I was like, I'm just going to do it. And so, yeah, so then I moved there and then was there for a little while. And then I went to Michigan.
Very cool. And
Yeah.
Kristen, you said somebody approached you about joining an all-female metal band.
Yeah.
Was that Conquer Divide, or was that a band?
No.
Tell me about this first band you were in.
Many bands ago.
Okay.
This was like an all-female like deathcore band.
Mm-hmm.
We were called Mary Shaw, and we were very heavy, all screaming, no singing, lots of rage. It was a good experience. We played a lot of big festivals. We played Dirt Fest up here in Michigan, which is actually pretty big now. It was really tiny when we first played it, but now it's like almost the size of like a Warped Tour situation. It's just a one-off festival, but yeah, so I got my feet wet.
Yeah. What was the first band? Was that the first band you kind of took seriously? I mean, that sounds like you guys achieved a little bit there.
I think that was the first band that gave me a taste for, like, I think I could really do this for a living kind of thing. I don't know if I knew at the time that like the members that I had were the right fit to actually go all the way, but I think I had it in my mind at that time, like I really want to do this, and I think with the right people, I can make that happen. And so put together Conquer.
Oh, so that was the next band. Conquer was
no, there was one other failed
project in there,
an all-girl band in between, and then Conquer.
Okay. Well, tell me about starting Conquer. How did you meet everybody? How did the whole project come together?
So it was just kind of like I had these two local all-girl bands, and neither of them worked out. And I kind of just said to myself, you know what? If I'm going to really take this seriously, I need to start looking all over the country or really all over the world for professional musicians, and not limit myself to my local area, because I pretty much I knew all of the females in Michigan, basically, that either sang or played guitar or played bass or played drums, and they just kind of weren't the right fit, or they weren't serious enough. And so I'm like, I really got to expand my horizon. So that's kind of where the idea of Conquer came about. And so I started just auditioning people from all over the world, basically looking on YouTube, looking on Craigslist, looking on websites that I don't even think exist anymore. Like, there were a couple of musician meetup websites that were around back in the day that I think are like defunct now. But and then I don't know, I kind of just started mainly searching for covers on YouTube of people playing music similar to what I wanted to have a sound like, which was kind of like a Paramore meets Asking Alexandria, I guess. So I would look for people doing Asking Alexandria covers or whatever. And so I just sent a ton of messages out and got a couple of responses back, got a couple maybes, and then of course here we have our final lineup now. Those are the ones that were responded and actually followed through.
But if all these people weren't from Michigan,
No.
how
I mean, I
did the
auditioned
band come together?
people from the Netherlands, from, I mean, Izzy's from the UK.
Yeah.
And our original drummer was from Serbia, but she happened to live in California. So yeah, we just, I basically said, like, here's the idea I have for the band. We had some producer backing. I said, we're going to be recording with Asking Alexander's producer. Would you guys be interested? And they're like, yeah, we're in. And Izzy straight up moved here from the UK, which was a really big commitment. I was like, okay, this girl's serious.
Yeah.
So
was that kind of not scary, but like now you have a person moving all the way from Europe
to
Michigan to play.
It's a lot like riding on your shoulders. You're kind of like, oh shit, excuse my language, but
you're allowed to cuss.
Okay, I wasn't sure. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like, that's a lot riding on your shoulders, and that kind of, it's like, okay, we really got to make this happen now.
Yeah.
I've literally got somebody who's up and like moved from another country for this band. So we got to do something.
So you guys, you start the band. Did everybody just move to Michigan then?
No.
Actually, I was going to say, yeah, but that was like, no.
No. We basically just, we fly in for practice before tour or for anything we need to do. We just fly to get together and get it done.
Wow.
We all live in different states.
Yeah. How did you put together like a tour and how were, like, I'm trying to organize this in my head.
Yeah. So we don't really do we can't really do festival shows or anything like that, like one-off shows, because it just doesn't make financial sense for us.
Right.
But we try to book like a month-long tour, and then we get together like a week prior and we just practice 40 hours that whole week, like 8 hours a day, and then we leave for the tour. And that's the only way we can do it.
But like starting out, like how did you like putting the record together, or you had the band together with the producer and you already had all the songs written and ready to go?
Yeah. We had been working on them while we were auditioning people, and so the songs were pretty much done by the time everybody joined, whether it was a vocalist or
God. Okay. Yeah. That's where I was getting confused. Okay. Sorry, Kia, what were you going to say?
Going back to the touring thing, I was just going to say that, when we started touring, four of us lived in Michigan. And so we only really had to fly in Janelle and Tamara.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was a little bit, easier. Yeah. Because everyone, like, we could still practice like on our own, obviously, or like the four of us could like meet up and like talk about whatever we wanted to do, and then we would only really have to fly in two people. But now it's a little bit different because now only Kristen and Izzy live in Michigan, and so we're even more spread out than we were before.
Oh my.
And then there was like 3 months where we all lived in Michigan, except for Tamara. But that was very short-lived, unfortunately. We were so close. We almost had it.
Almost had everybody in one spot. So that record you guys were recording, Kristen, was that the self-titled EP? And then you guys were signed to Artery Recordings, right?
Yeah.
How did that happen?
So we put out our first single, Eyes Wide Shut, and then basically had a bidding war of labels.
Really? On one song?
Yeah, on one song.
Wow. Tell me about this song and how this happened.
Yeah, it's called Eyes Wide Shut. We put it out on Brian Starr's YouTube channel. I don't know if you're familiar with him. He was kind of like a scene YouTuber back in the day, and he would interview bands, and he had a pretty decent sized following. So we approached him about releasing our song on his YouTube channel, and it got in front of a lot of eyeballs, and people started fighting over us.
Yeah, he agreed to do it. He's just like, yeah, sure, why not?
Yeah.
Wow, that's really cool.
Yeah, it was super awesome. So it all happened very fast. I think we started getting approached by people within like the same week we put the song out.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so we had like 4 or 5 record labels like really
right away knocking at your door.
right away. It was like bidding war.
Oh my gosh. Was that overwhelming?
Yeah, it was pretty overwhelming.
It was kind of confusing for me. Like Kristen, I feel like Kristen was more familiar with all of it than I was, especially. And she would like explain to me what different things meant. And I'd be like, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, someone just make a decision for me because I don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
So it was a little bit confusing, but
yeah, especially you're saying you hadn't been in a band before, and then this is the project you get in, and
yeah. So imagine this
signed to a label, right?
You put out one song and then you've got labels like.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Wow. Oh my gosh. So then obviously you settle on Artery Recordings.
Yeah.
And then they put out that record for you?
Yeah.
And then what did you do first? Did you tour? Did they put you on a tour? Like
they put us on tour like, almost immediately. We did our first like 3 tours almost back to back.
Yeah.
And that was a little crazy for us too, because we had never toured before. None of us had, and so that was a big learning experience. We had a bunch of van issues.
Oh really? I want to hear about the first tour.
Oh man. Well, I think it was the first show, right, where the trailer came unhitched off the van and was hanging by the chains on the freeway.
Oh my gosh.
Very first show we were ever going to play. Yeah.
It was bad.
So then we were like super late, and then we got there and everyone was waiting for us to play, and we took forever to set up.
Oh yeah.
Like forever. Like for some reason after like you said earlier, we practiced for 40 hours a week, but we didn't practice setting up. We just practiced playing
the song.
So our next, like before our next tour though, we like practiced, timed out like how do we set up. We planned like I would help Tamara with drums, Janelle would get everyone water. Like we had a system because that is the one thing we never thought to practice that.
Right.
I think it took us like an hour
It took so long. I'm like, I can't believe anyone is still here. Like, I cannot believe anyone is still like waiting for us. It was crazy.
On that first tour, were you guys supporting anyone, or was it just a solo?
They were called It Lies Within, just kind of like a local Michigan band that they agreed to take us out and just help us get our feet wet, essentially. So I'm glad that we did our first tour with them, because what came right after that? It was Alisana.
Yeah, Alisana and Capture. Yeah.
Wow.
So that was a bigger tour. And much more stringent than the first tour we did. So
yeah,
we were still having timing issues. Even after practicing setting up and tearing down. So when we finally made it to the Alisana tour, we were, I don't know, pretty fast, but not fast enough. And we got ourselves in trouble a couple shows, like making, running over our set time and making the band in front of us late. And then we got yelled at a lot. So
yeah.
Learning curve.
Now we are like super on time.
Yeah, like I feel like I was like super mad like when we got in trouble, but then I'm like, now that I think about it, I'm like, what? Like you can't go to work and be super late and expect to not get in trouble.
Yeah.
So, and I think it definitely made us be like, okay, we just need to get our shit together and figure out how to do this. And to the point where like on tours after that, I feel like we were able to we were like, oh, if we finish setting up in 5 minutes and they give us 10, we can add an extra song. And so we would like check the clock and be like, okay, we're adding in this song, or no, we're not adding in this song. And we were able to like kind of monitor our own like set times.
Yeah.
Because we would have a plan. If we end up setting up, if it takes us a little longer than we plan to set up, we know what song we're going to cut. And we have different playlists for the drummer. So they can like adjust the set without having to be like, oh crap, what song are we cutting? They just know, okay, we're doing the long set or the short set or the regular set.
Got it. That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, you said you guys I mean, Kristen, you were talking about recruiting people or auditioning people.
Mhm.
You record the record, and then right away you guys get signed to a label and put on tour. You didn't really know each other very well, right?
No, not at
So
all. So
was
that was
that
another
added
dynamic.
weirdness to the
I mean,
tour?
yeah, it was.
Yeah.
We were all getting to know each other. We were all learning how to tour on our very first tour. And, you know, some people just aren't cut out for touring in general. So it can take people 6 months to a year to figure out, like, hey, I'm not cut out for this.
Mhm.
I don't want to do this anymore, because tour will make or break you. So then we had that dynamic going on with a couple members that, you know, just couldn't handle being on tour.
Mhm.
And all these other factors at play. So it was a mess. So I kind of feel bad for the other bands that had to deal with us during that time period, but we've definitely come out the other side.
Yeah.
Smarter, stronger, faster. And
Right. And now
yeah.
you can mentor other bands when you take
Yes.
them on the road.
Yeah, actually.
We were in your spot at one time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's hard enough, like basically living in a vehicle with four or five other people. And
Mhm.
then when you add on top of that, that you don't really know each other that well, and that you're all probably super stressed because we've never done this before. It just our first couple tours were really hard, but I think like Kristen said, they got a lot easier the more we like kind of learned how to interact with each other and how to you know, for example, me, like if I'm sitting in the van and I have my headphones in, like the first tour, everyone would be like, "What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you?" And I'd be like, "Go away!" And then towards the end, like everyone kind of figured out, like, "Oh, just leave her alone." And like even that small little change like helps a lot, you know?
Sure. Oh, that's funny. So that record came out in 2015. You guys just put out a new song this year.
Yeah.
Um, what's been going on between the first release and now?
Well, unfortunately, our part of it was that our label sold to Warner. And so we were labelless for a while. And then another issue is we ended up losing our drummer. Her parents kind of, they're very strict, and, you know, they kind of put the hammer down, like, you need to do something more with your life kind of thing.
Sure.
And so, you know, we had to find a new drummer and just a lot of personal stuff. Two of us got married.
Oh, gotcha.
So we were on a bit of a hiatus. And then once we all kind of regrouped and got a new drummer, which interestingly enough, she actually auditioned prior to our original drummer. So she's kind of been involved since the beginning too, sort of, kind of.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, we just kind of just all decided like now would be a good time to come back in full force. And but then the COVID thing hit.
Yeah, so tell me about that. Did you have chemicals already recorded and ready to go prior to COVID?
Thank God. So literally,
so you guys get back together.
Film the video.
Okay.
Like a week before COVID hits the US, like just by the skin of our teeth, because our director, he's from the UK, and he was actually supposed to fly back 2 weeks after that and do a bunch of other music videos, like A Day to Remember and some other big artists.
Wow.
And all of it had to get
canceled
or postponed or whatever. I don't know. But yeah, it was crazy. So we at least got that done. And now we're trying to figure out how to do our next music video with the COVID situation, because our drummer is Canadian.
Oh.
And so, you know,
going across the borders. Yeah.
Exactly. They definitely don't want us going over there. I'm not really sure about Canadians coming here yet. We'll see.
Oh, really? They don't want us going there. I didn't know that.
No, we are like blocked from Canada, at least for a while.
That's funny. I didn't know that. Wow. Well, so when did you guys get back together to write Chemicals, and are there more songs to come?
Yeah, it's been about a year, I would say, where we've been working on songs. We've got like 5. We got like an EP worth, I would say.
Very cool.
Material, but we're gonna keep writing and try to finish our second full length.
Nice. I love the cover you guys did too, the Billie Eilish cover.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, that's really good. What was the story behind that? And is that like, you just decided to do it?
I just thought it'd be fun. Like, I don't know, it might, covers are always good because they bring in, fan bases from other genres, I guess, that might not have listened to us otherwise. So that was kind of the thought process behind it, even though like it had been out for a while by the time we did the cover. I don't know. It's still a big song. So
yeah, it's a cool version, and it's a song I feel like you could even ride like the next wave of it. Like it was huge, and then it kind of came back, but then it's always going to be like one of those recurring songs.
Yeah.
It's just never going to go away. So that's rad. I listened to it before we talked, and
nice.
I like it a lot. Yeah, it's a really cool take on the song. Was that
I wanted to cover that one specifically because I always heard like a breakdown at the end, and none of the other rock covers I think that I watched, I don't think anybody did that where they turned like that ending part into a breakdown. But it just, to me, when you listen to the original song, it sounds perfect for a breakdown. I don't know. I'm like, why hasn't anybody done this?
Did you guys record that in around the same session with Chemicals?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool. And what about video for that song? Anything to come, or is it just
for Bad Guy?
Yeah, Bad Guy.
Oh yeah, there is a video actually out.
Oh,
yeah.
There is. I missed that one.
Yeah, so it's weird because it somehow released early on iTunes, and so it was released without the video, and then the actual release day it came out with the video.
The video.
Yeah.
Okay. Were you able to shoot that video prior to COVID also, or was that when you had to kind of?
They were filmed back to back. So we filmed that one first, and then the next day we did Chemicals. So it was a busy week for us.
Yeah, it sounds like.
Then we did all of the, I don't know if you've seen our other content, like the typical YouTube content, like the funny videos that we posted. We filmed all of those in the same like 1 week time span.
Yep.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah. We were busy.
Yeah. Wow. So that was all done like right prior to COVID?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
We were like, while we're together, let's just get, as we have all these ideas, let's just get them all done. And you can tell too, because I usually change my hair like every 3 months, sometimes more. And so it's funny because in every video that we did, my hair is the same, which is so not typical for me.
So you're like, oh, I got the same hair.
Yeah.
Other people might not notice. That's funny. Wow. So what's next? I saw that you have you've done some live streams. Do you enjoy doing that?
Yeah.
I do. We should do one after this.
Yeah, I feel like the only thing with live streams is I never know what to say.
Oh, really? Just in between the songs, or just in general?
Oh, so just like talking wise, I don't know how to bring up conversations, I guess.
Sure. Because no one's talking back to you.
Yeah. And so I feel like it's just like I'm just like silent, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go.
Yeah. Do you play like acoustic, or do you guys do different ones? How does it work?
So I've only done one live on my channel with my guitar. Mm-hmm. And I don't know why, but I was so nervous. I was like shaking, and I was like so nervous that I couldn't think of anything to play. So I only played like 3 songs, and I was like, gotta go. See ya. But we haven't done a full band one yet.
No.
Oh, okay.
I think there would probably just be too many lag issues with Wi-Fi and stuff.
Yeah. Especially on my end, since I've frozen like 4 times.
A good enough program to do it, that would definitely be something we could explore.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Worry.
Well, thank you guys so much for talking with me this evening. I really appreciate it. I have one more question. I want to know if you have any advice for aspiring artists.
I would say if you end up going on tour or anything, don't drink too much. You don't have to be the real rock star life. Pace yourself and take frequent breaks for your mental health.
Yeah, that's good advice. I would say the world is yours, so just go ahead and grab it. You can do anything that you dream up. I don't know. I think I struggled for a long time with that, like not having the confidence or whatever. And one day I just kind of woke up and I'm like, you know what? Like if that guy can do it, I can definitely do this. So
Yeah.
I don't know, just believe in yourself. I know it sounds cheesy, but especially in this industry, it's I don't know, it's true.
Yeah.
You can do anything if you work for it. And it's not necessarily about talent. It's I guess it's more about consistency and just working at it every single day. It doesn't matter if you have songwriting can be learned, production can be learned. It's more about consistency and staying at it. Bringing it backward.